Hi, welcome back. Now, one more thing before we do the transformation steps. There's one more thing we might want to consider, and this is the following. When we take a look at our dates table, we have this column here, which is the purchase date. Okay, and here we can clearly see it starts with the 1st of January 2015, and obviously we also have the 2nd and the 3rd and so on. So this works for us here, but one thing we need to take into account is the following: that it's not we cannot ensure that we have a complete date table here, because there might be days during this time period which might be a holiday, or simply the business was closed or whatever, or simply we were not able to sell something, so there was no purchase. Okay, so this means that this column is not necessarily reflecting all days in our period, so not all the days from the 1st of January to the 31st of December 2017. Okay, so all the 3 years, and so from 2015 to 2017. So when we want to do some analysis with dates, and this is what we want to do later on, of course, then it's always good to have a separate date table in Power BI. And a problem is that Power BI itself is currently not giving us this dates table automatically, so it's not creating the dates table automatically, but I'm pretty sure that they will integrate this in future updates and future releases of Power BI, so maybe next month or the month afterwards, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that this will happen. But so far, what we want to do is we want to use actually our own query and import a dates table. And you'll find the code in the description, but don't worry, you do not need to code anything. The function is already written, and it's written in M. M is basically the language, the programming language within the Power BI editor. And all you need to do is actually create a blank query, and you import the data, or basically the code within this blank query, and then we have a function, and this function gives us the opportunity pretty easy to create a dates table. So sounds kind of strange maybe for you, but let's do it. Okay, so what we do is we will say we want to add a new source. So we're still in the Power BI editor, but beside our queries we already have, we want to import an additional new source, and in this case it's not an Excel file, it's a blank query. It's a blank query, and I select this, and what I'm doing now is I need the code. So what I can do is, in this case, I'm going to the view here, and I go to the advanced editor. And this is where actually all the magic happens, where you can write your own M code for your query if you want to do it. But for now, we do not need anything of this. We want to simply use this and copy paste something, which is our dates table. So I'm going to my file, and I'm selecting this, and that's what it looks like here. Make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm doing is I simply Control C to copy it, and then I'll go back to Power BI editor, in this case the advanced editor, and what I'm doing is I simply paste it in here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You can play around with it, can take a look what it looks like, but basically this helps us to create a function to create a dates table. And you can see that no syntax errors have been detected, so obviously everything works fine so far. So we click on done, and you can see that now this f of x, which is currently grayed out, is this function here. And this gives us the option to select a start date, an end date, and a financial year start if you want to put something else instead of one. So if it's not starting of January, but our financial year, so maybe you're a company and your financial year starts at June, that might be an option. Then you could insert a 6 here. But for now, I want to start at the 1st of January 2015. So this, because this is our date range, and we want to end at the 31st of December 2017. And by the way, I know these kind of dates formats is well, at least what we have in Europe here or in Germany. I know that in the United States, so if you're watching this course in the United States, you have a different kinds of date format, which starts with a month. So you should try it out and check that whether it works. If not, I need to, well, just the code itself. So you can leave that in comment. But for now, this is the date format from Europe, at least from Germany. So we start with the 1st, this is the day, this is the month, and this is the year. Okay. And I'm starting at January, and what I need to do now is simply referring to invoke That's everything. Simply click on invoke, and what you see is we have this invoke function, and this is our dates table. And let me first rename it. So let's say instead of invoke function here, I say this is my dates table, like that. Press enter, and now rename my dates table. And what I have here is my dates table. And what it looks like is the following. I have my date. So this is a continuous date, which means it's a date range from the 1st of January 2015 all days until the 31st of December 2017. Okay, so there's no date missing. And then I extracted something like the year from the date, the quarter of the date, the month of the date, the day of the month, the date integer, month name, and so on. So you go to all of these columns here, the month in calendar, the quarter in calendar, the days in week, also day of week name. So in this case, these are German names here for the weekday names. The reason for this is probably because my Windows is German. So probably this was it copied the dates or the names format from my Windows. So that could be an option because Power BI itself here is an English version. So that's I assume that's the reason for that. But you will see here from Monday to at least if you have an English version of your Windows, that you should see Monday to Sunday. Sorry, Monday to Sunday here. Okay, I have a week ending, week number, and so on. So it's a dates table. It's really extensive. So we probably won't need all these values here, all these columns, but you might use this in the future. So this might help you a lot, as long as at least Power BI is not introducing these kinds of dates table automatically within Power BI. Okay. So, but it was pretty easy, right? We simply copied this in an empty query, and then we decided, okay, what is the date range, and then we invoked the function, and then we have our dates table. Okay. And now I have my dates table and my other tables, and let me simply drag and drop my dates table also to my other tables, because there's also a dates table, a table for my data model. Okay. So that's it for the dates table. We have now finished this, and the next thing would be to do some transformations for our other tables in here, and this is something we cover in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.